Hello and welcome to the Irish Hunting Podcast, the no bullshit podcast for the outdoor enthusiasts. If you're into hunting, fishing, fine wines and even finer foods, you've come to the right place. So pull up a chair. Hello and welcome to the Irish Hunting Podcast. We're back with part 2 of our episode on our 4-day hunting boar trip in Hungary. We'll be giving you the lowdown on how myself and Anthony got on over the last 2 days. We'll also bring you a roundup of news and events from around the country. And on this week's Let's Talk Gear section, it's the turn of Sniper Hog's head torch. Hope you all enjoy. We're back, lad, for part 2.
Back with a bang.
Back with a bang. Right. We'll get...
Jeez, there's some fucking weather out there, man.
Oh, man, it's horrendous, isn't it? Oh, horrible.
Wicked.
I think at around 10 o'clock there, it nearly went dark around here, and that is the truth.
Yeah, and I think it's going to get worse as the evening goes on. But anyway, look, it is what it is. The fire is lit.
See the tornado that hit Leitrim?
No.
Did you not see that, man? Yeah, there's just some big freak tornado hit Leitrim and took the roof off a heap of houses and destroyed a heap of cars. Absolutely wrote them off. Some freak.
You're joking.
Yeah, I swear to God, yeah. I've seen it there a few minutes ago. Do you remember that when that happened up here about 15 to 20 years ago? Do you remember that?
No, I wouldn't do, man. I fucking must have missed that one.
It would have been.
I must have started to forget a load of stuff. I'm forgetting loads of stuff. I was saying to Dylan the other day, man. I don't know what's wrong with me. Anyway,
it happened up here, and I'm nearly certain it was New Year's. I'm nearly certain it was around New Year's. It was between Christmas and New Year's, anyway. About 20 odd years ago, and I tell you, myself and Barry Dunn, who we've had on the podcast before, we were only teenagers, and Barry was down in my house, and we were sitting in watching telly. And I remember this outrageous bang, like a bang like I never heard before. And we had a big like a Leilandi tree at the side of the house, and you could see it from now this thing stood probably 20 foot tall, and you could see it from the sitting room. And I remember just looking out at it, and it lay flat on the ground for a couple of seconds, and then sprung straight back up. And I remember looking at Barry and going, what in the name of Jesus was that? Never witnessed something like that before. And I'd say within about 5 minutes, the phone rang. And it was my aunt who lives next to, 2 houses, down the road from us. And it had passed by her house, broke every window in the house, and took the roof clean off the house.
Jeez, man, where was I for this?
Honest to God, man, it was all over all the papers and news. You could track the path of it. It had just rip a tree out of the ground every so often. You could see as clear as day. There's another house kind of just up the hill from her house, just back behind it. Same story there. Took the roof off that, smashed a load of windows. I remember the whole parish were out. Just goes to show you how good people are. The whole parish were out that day, fixing up the roof, trying to temporarily fix windows. Yeah, never ever forget.
Fucking hell, man.
Yeah.
No, the only thing do you remember them things you used to you'd see them there's a name on them
in the bog.
Do you know what I mean? They're little.
Yeah, they're called
the whirly ones.
Yeah, what's this that they call it?
What do they call them?
Turrock or something like that, or a ferrock or something, isn't it?
So it's just like a little kind of. And there's a few papers on the ground. You could see them, doing a little dance in the middle of it. But that'd be about the height of it. My experience with tornado.
Yeah.
Mad, isn't it?
Yeah, I always remember that. Yeah, but apparently it must be something similar now. That's after hitting some part of Leitrim. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fucking hell.
There you go, man. There you go.
Yeah, we're not getting too bad up this direction. Not getting too bad up this direction.
But I think it's to get worse tonight, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I hate that. I'd rather during the day when you can see stuff. You're in the middle of the night now. Checking on stuff. Anyway, look, we'll see how it goes. How are you feeling?
Not too bad, man. A good bit better now than I was when we last did this podcast. Anyway, yeah, no, a good bit better.
Yeah, so the bowl COVID's got a bit of a grip here.
Got a bit of a grip, lad. I'll tell you. Like I got it, as I said, when we got it. When COVID was everywhere, and I was just a bit tired for a day, and but then it was grand. But yeah, this time now a little bit worse. By no means, horrendously bad, but just tired and
Yeah.
coughing it. But no, today now has been I'm a lot better today.
Good. Yeah. Look,
And
I suppose it puts a little bit in perspective. I suppose if you're unlucky enough to have a bit of respiratory trouble or maybe an underlying illness, you can see how it could kind of put you under a little bit of pressure, wouldn't it?
it would absolutely, man, definitely it would. Even I'd say, like, I'd feel for people that smoke and stuff. I'd say they'd probably be,
Yeah.
a little bit worse,
Yeah. Or if it got you when the immune system is just a bit low, but I suppose that's kind of this with everything. If it catches it at the wrong time, something catches it at the wrong time, you're on top of something else. It'll put you in a bit of bother.
Yeah, exactly, man. Absolutely, yeah. Without a shadow of a doubt. Come here, hunting. You were out for doing a bit, were you?
It was a little bit yesterday, man. It was a little bit different, right? I haven't actually told you the story yet because
No.
we've it's only been a little while since our last podcast, and we haven't. You've been busy and laid up, and same as that. I've been flat out today and yesterday afternoon, but got out for a couple of hours yesterday afternoon. I just said I get the dogs for a walk, and yeah, I'd bring the gun with me, and sure. I wasn't holding. I was going for a little spot here with maybe a couple of little bit of snipe in mind and a duck.
Okay.
But yeah, so I brought the two dogs out, and of course, I was down my low haunt down below. It was cold. It was windy, and it was kind of nippy. And I was sort of saying I was a little bit underdressed now, if I'm being particularly honest about it, because I didn't think it was as cold, but you know what I mean, when you're the wind is in your face and that. Geez, that's a little bit of a nip. Anyway, healed hunt. I was crossing a bit of an old drain, and I looked to my left, and I could see this fucking white thing. As I thought, just in the next field, but I've realised when I crossed the river, that it was a sheep in a bit of butter.
Okay.
So is my internet holding up okay there, man?
It's a bit coming and going there now, I'll be honest with you. Yeah.
Okay. It's showing full whack here, but just apologies if you're losing me here. But yeah, so like that was the first what we say glimpse I got of this thing. Anyway, got a little bit closer, closed the flowing river, and the poor sheep had got itself fucking tangled in a bit of loose barb and kind of slipped down a bank, so it could either go down or get up. And you could see where it was kind of trying to get back up the bank to no avail, and the fucking barbed wire was kind of wrapped in its mane, kind of halfway around its fucking neck.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and it was in a bad bit of nick now, and there was a little bit of blood, and I said, "Oh fuck, man!" And to get to this field, I'd have to make me back around, and I wasn't particularly sure on which fucking farm, so I'd have to try and stop and go. I wouldn't have, and it's not in our club ground, Ratton, so I wouldn't really acknowledge which fucking field it was in. So I said, "Fuck, this is by the time I get back around." And it looked in rag order now, and again, I was under pressure. I had to get away that evening, and we had a little bit of work to do here. So, I debate with myself. Fuck, man, will I try and ring somebody? Who the fuck do I start ringing? So anyway, me the alcohol plunge. This is people don't fucking think this is true. I stripped down to me jockers.
Yeah.
And straight across the river. This is where the story gets untangled the sheep, got it back up. Now it was in his. Am I still breaking up there, man?
It is, man. It is. You're definitely on your usual internet line and all, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's breaking up like mad there. It goes grand for a second or two, and then it.
Yeah, it's showing full whack here, man.
Is it?
Apologies on that. Yeah, it's showing full fucking whack.
Okay.
It's mad stuff. Yeah, we'll keep it going here, and if you can still hear me, we'll continue on. If not, I'll try and rejig it and come back in. But so where was I? Yeah, untangle the sheep in my underpants, man. If anyone had seen this, right, a fully grown fucking man in his underpants, trying to get a sheep back up a bank.
Jesus Christ.
I shit you not, man. This is fucking true as God, right? Yeah. What I didn't realize was that my faithful dog had decided to fucking paddle across with me, yeah?
Oh, okay.
And the other little one along with her, which is great.
Yeah.
Until I swam back across and realized they weren't for coming back across. They were just standing looking at me, and I was there. Oh, Jesus, man. So I had all my clothes in the bank. Now I have to say, before I did this, right, they were after dredging the river, so I wasn't too sure how fucking deep it was, how cold it was when I get up the other side. So I just sent over a little pin drop, say, look, this is me here, yeah? And of course, I had the phone the far side of the bank. So I was one side of the bank, starkers, roaring at the dogs to come back across the other side of the bank. And starting to get cold. I said, oh, for fuck's sake, starting to get tick. Of course, as I got ticker, they weren't really returning either. You know, they were saying, nah, we're not going over to that mad fucker there.
Yeah.
Shouting his joggers. So back across the river, one of the dogs across with me under the arm. Once she got halfway across, she paddled across. Back up for the other one, back across, and then back across myself, out. And so that was my story. Yes, that was my hunting story, man. Clothes back on. Yeah. So there you go. I could have had lamb for dinner, but anyway, look,
just picture somebody
good deed.
Walking past and seeing you in your jocks with your arm around the sheep, like, oh, grogging up to his old tricks again.
This is no messing, man. I had to go down, right? I had to go about 30, 40 meters down. You know them kind of the drinking cutouts in the bank, you know, along the river. For cattle years ago, they used to drink, you know, they were able to walk down and have a drink. So I was there, like, there's fucking everywhere else, because the bank was kind of steep because it was after being kind of dredged or whatever, you know. And I said, oh, fuck. So I had to go down there, then come run up along the bank. And as I said, man, if somebody had seen me, you know, fucking run up along the bank. Anyway, that was my cold plunge for yesterday. So I got me 11 minutes in.
I'd say it was cold, all right.
So it was freezing, man. It was freezing.
Jesus.
Absolutely freezing.
Air a duck or a snipe?
No, I wasn't in the humor for doing much more after that. I kind of got funny enough, dude. You think I was actually warmer coming back up. I don't know whether it's the way that the body kind of starts to induce all kinds of mad hormones and stuff after you do a bit of cold plunge. But I was actually felt warm. Now I enjoyed my warm shower when I got back in, because the river wasn't too clean. But it was good. It was good. All good.
Bit of a hero.
Happy story.
Sheep is happy, and sure, all is good. All is well.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know whether that was the right thing or the wrong thing to do, but there, say la vie.
Yeah. We're not condoning that. Maybe don't swim in after sheep, but you're up. At least he lives exactly. Day anyhow.
Yeah, he and in fairness, he did. She didn't run away too quick. I think, I don't know whether she'll survive or not. But she kind of hobbled back off. You know, I'd say she was there a good while.
Okay.
Unfortunately, she wasn't in great nick, but look at she went back over to the herd, and hopefully the farmer on the other side will pick her up, you know.
Yes. Oh, good deed done, man. Good deed done. Exactly right. I didn't do anything since I spoke to you last, only I'm at a fucking head for Christy Malay here. By Jez, Christy, you're listening. I'll tell you, the only good thing is I won't be buying a pint of Guinness for at least 12 months.
That's she's a bit of torture, is she?
Oh my God, man! Like I've done them before, like, and you just usually skin it and skin it, get as much of the flesh and eyes and all that sort of stuff out in the bottom jaw, and boil it and take it out, and maybe just the last little bit of grizzle, give it a power washer. I am after boiling this thing about 4 times because you can't boil it for too long or it'll soften it. So you have to boil it, take it out, get as much of it off, power hose it. Still wasn't getting it. Back when it cooled down, back in the water, boil it again. Man, I'm at it since about 7 o'clock this morning. And that's a fact. So, so Malay, you owe me.
A few courses.
Oh, Peter, holy Lord, will you stop? But you're
when you said to me, I'm doing a head for Christy this morning, I said, oh, Jesus, must be doing head gasket on the car. You fucking head of a fellow. There you go.
And a fantastic head of a fellow, I must say. Absolutely beautiful. Fine animal.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, that's all I'm at now, man, to be honest, yeah.
Speaking of heads, I actually just in the last half an hour, I must send you on a picture. I got my my goat head mounted, Gregory and
nice.
Simon the Sika. I got him mounted in the sitting room now. So I have the two of them. I was allowed to bring them inside, so I said, nice one. This is finally, and they look well. They're on the brick wall inside the sitting room. So two nice heads hanging up. Yeah, I'll send you the picture now shortly.
Do, man, do. I'm trying to half coaxing my wife in our I don't know if we ever in our sitting room. I probably are in our sitting room. You have the chimney breast, and then the gap in either side of the chimney breast. I was kind of saying to her, well, two nice heads look nice, there and there.
I'm actually going to zap this across to you now, so you can have a look at this. This might just sway it for you,
Yeah, man. Honest to God, I think it could do it. Do you know what I'm going to do? I've actually started a little project here now, and I don't know how I'm going to get finished it. Do you know my workshop here at the front of at the side of the house?
Yeah,
making a large. How would I describe it? A large fallow head, Euro mount style. I was steel.
Deadly.
And I'm putting it up. I'm going to put it up on the top, the top of the shed, the apex. So when you drive in, you'll be looking at this kind of head. I'm making it all out of steel, and I'm going to make it out of like steel and let it naturally, rust. Yeah.
Deadly.
Yeah. So
that'll be like the Irish style Texan ranch, like the bullhorn.
Exactly.
Deadly.
Like something
Deadly.
I've never seen one done before, so it was a bit of an idea that came to me, so I started that there the other day. So yeah.
Do you know, I'm just thinking, your gate at the front, that would look deadly at your gate, man.
Yeah, it would, man.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Or the tree and at the entrance to my house. I was thinking the other way you get people to do the carvings. I was like, Jesus, if that never happened to tree, I'd definitely get that done. That'd be fucking deadly.
Deadly, yeah. You have the big wooden gate. It looks something in the middle that look deadly.
Yeah, too. Yeah,
savage.
Just have to get past the wife first.
Well, surprise her. It could be a Christmas present.
Exactly, man. It could be exactly, without a doubt. Come here. Will we do a little bit of news?
Sure, we might as well.
Let's do it. And now, for a roundup of what's going on around the country, it's the IHP News. And this section of the Irish Hunting Podcast is sponsored by Wild Hunter Athlone. Calling all Irish hunting enthusiasts, get ready for your hunting and fishing adventure with Wild Hunter Athlone. Immerse yourself in the rich tapestry of Ireland's wilderness as you embrace the spirit of the hunt. From the whispering woods to the rolling hills, Wild Hunter brings you closer to nature. Your next epic hunting experience awaits. Gear up, get out there and let the thrill begin. Visit Wild Hunter Athlone and make your Irish hunting dreams a reality. Hunt wild and hunt free. And we're up with the news, man. We've got a few bits and pieces now, which is good because we hadn't got a whole pile last week. But I'm going to kick it off first with the Pike Kings Battle Tree. This is on Saturday, the 30th of December, 2023, from 9 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So it is open to all waters, north and south. Open to boat, bank, lures or deadbait. For 3 longest fish, cash prizes for first, second, third and longest pike €40 for entry for a team of 2 or 1 individual. So download Fish Donkey app and search Pike Kings Battle to register. Good little one to be doing there over the... Yeah.
Savage stuff.
Yeah.
I'd say there'd be big interest in that. There's always, there's always big turnouts for pike tournaments, isn't there?
There is, man. Yeah, pike it's like its own religion. People are just into it, man, and that's it. It's like, I suppose, like fly fish and stuff. People just get really into it,
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Untethered and Wanderwise, where adventure has no age limit. We're your co-host, Heidi Brandist and Nikki Mahandro, and we're here to inspire and celebrate women over 45 who are embracing their independence and want to explore the world on their own terms.
Absolutely. The next bit of news is just for people who are looking for this. It's Country Sports Ireland are running a trained hunter large wild game deer meat hygiene course on 17th of February 2024. So it's the next installment of the very popular Country Sports Ireland large wild game meat hygiene course. It's in Kilbehenny Community Centre in County Limerick. All the information there is on Country Sports Ireland page. You get the guys and there's phone numbers and all that kind of stuff there. For those who don't have it, it's you can ring 087 650 9598 during office hours. And yeah, look at that's I think the 3rd and 4th of February is the deer stalking training course. The 17th of February is trained hunter game hygiene course, as I said, in Kilbehenny, and then they've one in Northern Ireland as well, in Draperstown. So it's savage stuff, and for people who want to, I suppose, either get started in deer hunting or further their skills, it's all there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Good thing to do. I know we've been saying it a long time. We need to do it, but we will get it done next year at some stage, I think.
We will, of course.
We will, absolutely, 100%. Now, this is just another one on Rural Pursuits. Just a reminder that there's an upcoming draw, which is Thursday the 14th, which will be this Thursday. Am I right in saying that?
That's correct.
And that is for a nice little hamper there from the lads over in Gowan and Bradshaw. There is, there's a list of stuff on it there. It's worth around €750. So what you need to do to enter, buy a copy of Rural Pursuits online, and you're automatically entered into the draw. Like and follow the Rural Pursuits page on Facebook and share and upload an uploaded image to at least 3 people. So that's a nice little draw for everyone there. I would encourage anyone that if you're buying the magazine, which you should, because it's a great magazine, you'll be automatically entered into that draw, and there's a couple of nice bits and pieces there.
Absolutely. Nice little Christmas present.
Yeah. Sorry, the draw is Thursday the 14th at 9 p.m. Facebook Live.
Deadly stuff. The best of luck to everyone who's already entered. If you haven't entered, get
stuck in.
The last bit of news, obviously. Sorry, Brenny?
You have the biggest bit of news for us yet.
Oh, the biggest bit of news. Yeah, that's is of course, the IHP challenge. So a little bit of small bit of, as look as normal on the IHP, and that's solely down to me. I just got the dates a little bit mixed up, but we're going to stick with the 29th of December. I think that suits everyone. I think. Yes. So, and it won't interfere with pike battle as well. So if you can do both. So 29th of December, the IHP challenge. We've banged it out across all the social media. It's already we've huge interest already. So.
Yeah,
it's already going to be bigger than last year, even at this moment in time. So, and it's team of 2. Teams must register no later than the 22nd or the 12th, just to give us a little bit of time to have all the hats in the bag. Yep. You must shoot or catch any 3 species. It's very, very simple. Proof must be displayed in all pictures via an IHP Challenge 2023 label, and you must use the IHP Challenge 2023 on social media. So, and look, it's very, 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 very simple, right? We've named out a few species there: pigeon, crow, snipe. And when we say crow, like obviously look at the more species, the better. But we're just trying to give, say, for instance, if for the shotgun people who don't have rifles and stuff like that, obviously, you know, they could go out and get their duck, their snipe, their pheasant. Obviously, a grey will be given more credus, or a mag that's given trouble, stuff like that. But so we're trying to get the most varied bag, and obviously the prizes will be determined then by the most varied and harder to acquire species, you know.
Yeah.
And your land, as you rightly pointed out, Brenny, is deer, fox, and rabbit. And then in the water, you've pike, perch, roach, and then or any sea species. So yeah, look, we want to try and get everyone involved. The most important thing here is, because I think a couple of people were saying, a crow, that won't be, yeah. And I know it's not, we're not specifically picking out crow, but what we're trying to do is just trying to get people out for the challenge, you know, get people on the ground and having a bit of sport, you know. That's the main thing.
Exactly. As we said, so like with your land, you know, you've a good few options there. You've a deer, fox, rabbit, squirrel, mink. Air, you've pigeon, grey crow, magpie, duck, snipe, woodcock, pheasant, grouse. Water.
Just on that, Benny, just the grouse is out of season, obviously.
Sorry. Yeah.
But do not shoot a grouse.
No.
There's no special prizes.
In the UK, is it?
What's that?
Are they still in season over in the UK?
They could very well be, Brenny. Now that is a very good point. So I'll stand corrected on that one. You might.
I'm not sure, but yeah. Sorry, yeah. But then for the water, pike, roach, bream, tench, perch, or any saltwater, any sea fish or any saltwater fish, 3 options. And again, as Anthony said there, just to reiterate, the reason we're doing this is for inclusion, because it opens up to an awful lot more people. You know, the more people you get involved in, the bit more crack you have, and the better the prizes and the whole job lot. So yeah, I think there's any lad with a fishing rod or any sort of a gun can take part in that competition.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about.
Yeah, we listened to the people last year who probably wanted to get involved, but maybe couldn't because, for instance, they might have only had the shotgun and didn't do fishing, or they don't, you know, no rifle. And for a lot of people had rifles and maybe no shotgun, and so it's just given a little bit more inclusion as best we can. But the most important thing, lads, if you go out and get 2 species or 1 species, it's going to be a day. I'm telling you, like we attest to this. Last year, we were buzzing off each other all day. What do you have? You know, a bit of crack. Yeah. I see Stevie White is putting down the challenge there as well. So Stevie's entering. Glad to see that as well. And
yeah,
I was over with Christy this morning. No, I didn't get to chat to him about the challenge, but I presume he's all set for it as well. He better be.
Absolutely.
Sean Tyrrell, I haven't seen any team names coming in as of yet. That's a big call out to yourself. So we're putting them all down.
Absolutely, without a doubt. Going to put it out there. Noel Swan, I'm presuming he's going to be in it. I was chatting to him briefly about it. So he's doing a bit of fishing this weather, so he'll be in it. A lot of the anglers are going to be in it, so it's going to be great. Yeah, it'll be brilliant. And the only thing we would ask people and here, maybe people that don't listen to the podcast, any of your local angling clubs, gun clubs, anything like that, let them know about it. Try and get them all involved. It'll be a bit of crack.
Spread the word. Let's blow the word.
Yeah,
like the All Ireland final for hunters.
That's what we want. Eventually, we'll get it to that, without a doubt, man.
Yeah.
Will we bring them part 2 of our Hungary trip? Will we?
Oh, geez, we better.
Well, here we go. Right, we're back.
We're back.
Part 2 of our Hungary hunting adventures, man.
Yeah, and I can't actually wait for this because I was just chatting to you off air there. I haven't actually heard, because it was full tilt over there, wasn't it? Like we didn't get. I know at the end of the night we had, but most of us were bollocks or too drunk to talk about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm not picking out anyone in particular, but that other fella, he must have been baptized in the vineyard or something, man. I tell you what, I've never seen a man be able to put back so much wine.
I tell you fucking one thing, man. Him and the other dirty sick animal with cider. I think he drank about 50
cider, yeah.
Cider. Be the Lord Mothers of God, lad, yeah.
If the price of grapes and apples have gone up, you know what it's from. Them 2 months.
I had to laugh at him. He was there polishing off what must have been about his 11th can of cider. And he went for a little bit of chocolate. And he says, sometimes you just want something a little bit sweet. And you're going, you're after drinking about 5 litres of cider.
Yeah, about 2 pounds of sugar.
What more sweetness do you want? Jesus Christ, yeah, an animal.
He must because I went around the next morning, right, and I found a can of cider behind the back door. There was one shoved in the pocket of the passenger side of the car.
Yes, that's right.
He must have been going around hiding them in case he wouldn't have to walk too far to get the next one. If I was out for smoke, I'd get that one.
For an emergency.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Oh, some bio. And that wine, we were talking about there last night. That was whatever that was it French? Oh, it was delicious.
It was French, yeah. It was lovely, yeah. Beautiful.
Gorgeous.
I might have a little sip of that myself. Well, wine tonight myself, if I get a chance.
I'm going to have some myself. I had some last night and I'm going to have a bit more tonight and fuck it.
Oh, man, that'll kill the few in you, boy.
Yeah, without one. Yeah.
So where do we we haven't had, because as I said, we by the time we got fed, and we didn't actually delve too much deeply into how each other got on. So I'm actually excited to hear your. We obviously hunted separately, so I'm delighted, excited to hear your side of it. So from your perspective, kick it off. How did you get on?
I got on. I got on well, man. I got on really well. It was kind of I suppose when I had sent through the picture of what I had got, I gave it the hashtag slight change of plan. Yeah, just ever so slight. So yeah, I think it would have been our second last. It would have been our last morning, our hunting morning, I suppose. Obviously, we had Sunday morning there, but this would have been on the Saturday morning. The morning after Rob had got his two boar. Myself and Yanis headed off. I think we were a little bit later going that morning, I think, weren't we? We didn't go just as early because I think we had to wait for Yanis, I think. So
yeah,
I think we headed off somewhere around 6:30. I think you went out ahead of us, I'm pretty sure.
We did. Yeah, we did.
Yourself and Rob went out. And yeah, myself, Yanis, Baloo, and Ross headed out somewhere around 6:30. Left the hunting lodge where we were and headed off about, I'd say, maybe 15 minutes away. Kind of, you kind of lose track. You get disoriented because you're not passing much heed really on where you're going. Do you know what I mean? So you don't really have a sense because you're not from there, so you have no sense of where the fuck you actually are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, Baloo dropped myself and Yanis off at one of the woods which we spoke before about. They're beautiful. Like, they're full of oak trees and beech trees, and that they are absolutely stunning. So
real forest,
yeah, absolutely stunning. Yeah. So yeah, dropped us off, and we kind of met up on a plan, and we headed into one area of the forest, and we'd been on the terminal, and we were looking, and a couple of deer knocking around, and no sign of any boar. And we were kind of making our way back, and we'd walked for about, I don't know, maybe a kilometre or so at this stage. And we were going in, and we just stopped, and we were looking at these couple of roe deer, and they were kind of just sort of ginning around maybe 200 or 300 yards ahead of us. And I just, like, I love looking at any sort of wildlife, but it was just cool to stand back and just watch them, And then we kind of said we'll push on another little bit. Again, we were had the infrared, had the thermal going, looking left to right. Then I spotted kind of off in the distance these three, what I thought these were fairly fucking big animals. And I knew they weren't boar anyway. Pushed in a little bit further, and next thing it was red deer. And these three stags, young enough stags, but still fairly big. And they kind of walked down downwind of us, and then actually ended up coming out front of us on this forestry trail. And again, just class to look at. And then they headed off. We came down to like a T-junction, like a kind of a 4 crossroads, I suppose you could say, in the wood. And we took a left, and we headed off, started walking back up, and there was a slight little bit of a hill, a bit of a rise. And again, then we could see more deer, and a decent enough group of them, maybe 5 or 6 of them at this stage. And I was looking, and I says to Yanis, like, I definitely knew they weren't raw, but I says, are they red? And Yanis says to me, no, they're fallow. And I said, fucking hell. Now, and I think I probably spoke about it on this podcast. To me, the one thing I said I wanted to get this year was a fallow, because there's no fallow in any of the land I have shooting on. So I just love them. I do. I really love the antlers on them. I think there's something mythical to me. There's something mythical about fallow deer. I just think I don't know why it is. I just think they're class. So we headed up anyway, and then Yanis says to me, "Oh, there's a good." Now, we hadn't spoken at all to say. I'd never said, "Geez, if I could get a fallow, man, I'd love to get a fallow." Like, to me, there's fallow, then there's Hungarian fallow. Do you know what I mean? Hungarian fallow, and as well as the red, are deemed to be the best in the world. So I hadn't looked at the price list. I just presumed they were outrageously expensive, you know?
Yeah.
And as we kind of walk back up, there is as I think there is one or two albinos floating around that area, Labod. And so I was kind of keeping an eye on it. And then I could kind of see this fallow, and just a fine, just a mythical animal. You just stand to look at him. And I says to Yana, says, "Oh my God, man, my dream is, someday to get a fallow." And he just looked at me. He said, "Well, get one now." He says, "Why don't you, you can get one now if you want." And I just kind of said, like, I don't know how expensive are they? And he says, "Good, but they're not." He says, "Look," he said, "Fuck it, it's not going to be that expensive." He said, he said, "It'll be probably a bit more than the boar," but he said, "If that's what you want." And I just said, just there and then, I don't know, something clicked in me. I just said, "Fuck it." I'm always working. I'm not really.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Myself, right? And so I said, "Fuck it." I says, "Yeah, man, fuck it, let's do it." So it all happened fairly quick, man. Walked under a couple of 100 yards. They kind of kept moving ahead of us. But then the dominant stag was out in front. And we kind of, as I said to you, we kind of went up to the top of the brow of that hill. And then we could see them probably 300-400 yards down ahead of us and on the left-hand side. We moved down, closed the gap to, I thought it was around 150 yards. Yanis reckons it was maybe closer to 200. Kind of went down, just closed the gap, went down about 200 yards down the hill. They were squaring away from us, but you could see them at this stage, for whatever reason, they wanted to cross over. We were kind of in their path, so they wanted to go from the left to the right-hand side of the wood. They were obviously heading out to greener pastures, So I just waited, and the stag, he kind of disappeared into thicker kind of forestry, but I just knew by the angle of him and the way he was facing, he was going to come out onto this haul road, this forestry road. And next thing, I lost sight of him and said he should be out now, he should be out. But there was a lump of like an old oak tree, had a stump of one basically, but it had all overgrown with ivy. So that was kind of blocking half the roadway. So I was like, "Oh Jesus, I can't see now. I can't get clear. Is he behind that, but he's heading away from me?" If that makes sense. I didn't know. Yeah. And we just sat there for a minute, had the rifle set up. And like that, man, he just squared out. I'll never forget it. It's an image in my head, and I'll never forget it. He kept looking at me, but was walking slowly, like, to get to the other side of the wood, and just stopped for just that split second and just turned his head and he looked at me. I could just see these big antlers. And he just stood there and looked at me. And that was it. Just squares the over. And that was it, yeah. Hit him right on the neck. And that was it. He was lights out. He just fell clean over on the ground. And that was it, lights out. And I was shaking. Yeah, this will tell you, man. I was absolutely shaking. My hands were shaking. I couldn't hardly, catch my breath. I was just like, I can't believe that's after happening. It was just unbelievable. So
I think it's the culmination, isn't it? Like, I mean, it was. I've talked about it yesterday, isn't it? And I think you're the same. To Ed McAvoy actually delivered a few pheasants to us, and like that, I was saying to him, it was tough physically,
yeah,
and kind of mentally, because it's obviously this is our time was coming to an end at this stage. You'd possibility of maybe this was the last hour of the morning hunt. I think that you shot that one, and then there was only a couple of hours in the evening hunt, and then that's it, wrap. So your time is it's like the hourglass. The sand is disappearing, and you're after traveling hunting like mad, and the right opportunity didn't come, or the right animal didn't come, and now here it was right in front of you. So adrenaline must have been through the roof at this stage, Bernie.
Through the roof, absolutely. And like, it's important to know that at that stage we had failed is not the right word to use, but we had 4 hunts. We had 4 hunts that we had went on that hadn't produced anything.
Yeah.
So, and it was certainly, had I have probably done the research and looked into the prices and stuff for the fallow, if I'd have known that on day one, I would have said, look, Yanis, a boar will be grand, but if I can, I'd like to get me fallow stag. But I just thought, price-wise, they were just going to be beyond my reach for this trip anyway.
Yeah.
So, but when it was kind of happening all, and then he says, no, it's not going to be that expensive, Brian. Like, fuck it, don't worry about it. And I just said, something, fuck it, I'm going for it. and that was it. And just when we walked up to him, man, people were saying, that's really, there's something about, you would probably attest, there's something about the deer over there. They're so, I don't know what it is. They're pristine. I don't know. I can't describe it. Like the coat on them, the condition of them was absolutely phenomenal. The fat stores on them is incredible.
You mentioned, I think, in the last podcast, with the salt that they put out for them and the nutritional aspect in terms of the crop that they have to access, and there's crop specifically grown to attract deer, to keep them off other land, and it's not just, this is kind of scientific by the way of generational knowledge passed down, because they know what the deer are attracted to because they've grown it and seen them decimate crop, and so it's been passed down from grandfather to grandson and so on, and this is, and in terms of education, then there's colleges set up around this to teach this. So this is not by any chance that these animals are in fantastic, like, even as you rightly point out, even a kind of the as what the lads would say is small, or they're fantastic, Nick. Like, you'd be watching a stag passing by and you'd be there like, Jesus, look at the size of that thing, and the lads would be kind of, that's in a couple of years, you know what I'm saying? They're like, this, like, one of a mediocre stag over there is kind of like our, over here
for him,
we don't have the, apart from down maybe in Killarney, so we don't have the kind of the what would you say, the sanctuaries for them and the feed and the nutritional aspect, or the in terms of the knowledge as well, we're a little bit lacking in that as well, I think.
Definitely.
I think that's fair to say,
Yeah, definitely, absolutely, 100%, man. Yeah, I would agree with you. I think the animals' well-being is first and foremost over there. Like, it really is. There, you have actively groups, companies, governments, different departments set up to ensure a healthy, sustainable amount of deer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Interesting story, actually. So where you probably heard us mention the podcast. Where we stayed was Nyatad, that was the town. But that there's a smaller village outside it called Labod. But that whole area where we were hunting is known as Labod. And Labod is probably world renowned as probably being the best place in the world for red stags and fallow. There's a ton of videos on YouTube. You'll hear guides from all over the world wanting to go to Labod. I think Yanis is telling me on this, I think it could be either on the CIC trophy or one of them, or some of the organizations use an image of a red deer, and it's been used since 1970. And that was a red deer that was actually shot in Labod, in beside where we were. So it is probably the holy grail of for deer hunting,
Yeah, absolutely, and like that, it's as you said, it's everything systematic from the people in the community right way up to the council, to the government. It's intertwined. They're all on the same wavelength. There's no fucking 20 different groups trying to argue about what's the right way to grow like a deer, or all that is seen as nonsense. That's just kind of, it's like almost baby talk over there. It's the animal's condition and well-being, and the crop and the nature aspect. All that is taken above all else. The rest of it, Sonny, will kind of, like, I'm sure if they come over here and heard some of the nonsense that was going on over here, they'd be fucking laughing. They'd be just saying, like, you know what I mean? With his, literally, and I don't mean that kind of in an disparaging way. Well, I kind of do, because I want people, I want us to get our act over here together, you know.
Yeah.
I see there was like, to give an instance there, I seen on Facebook going back a couple of weeks ago, they were arguing over who came up with the right, or with the idea for a test for some, and I was there, man, is this what we're like? You've me to thank for that. You've us to thank for that. No, and I was there like, of all the problems we have in this country, this is what you're actually fucking finding the time to argue about.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's nobody discussing why aren't we putting fucking salt licks and salt stuff out in forestries, and creating some sanctuaries for deer, and creating, you know, on some of the ground that's in around Wicklow and all that kind of, let's grow some crop in some of the hundreds of thousands of acres of waste ground up there that maybe might contain a few deer, and let the odd couple out. Like, there you go. There's, you know what I'm saying? There, let's do it the way they do it. Or adopt some of the nice ways or traditions they have over there. But
I think Yanis was here actually early. He was telling me a cool story, and I'm digressing here. I'll get back to the deer in a while, but I think from what I gathered was the history of Hungary was that one of the kings followed from Mongolia a red stag, and they followed him to see where he would stay, where he'd end up. And they followed him off down through it. He went down through Ukraine and into the middle of Europe. And the stag eventually set up or rested, or, you know, set up in this area, which is now known as Hungary. And this is the kind of the legend of the formation of Hungary. So I thought that was so fucking cool.
That's deadly, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I thought that was very.
I think we're going to, obviously we've plans afoot to try and get back over there, but we'll find out more about the history and tradition. I think it's phenomenal. Apart from the actual physical and mental side of the hunting, which I find just, and I think you do as well. Yeah, well, obviously you do, because he wouldn't have done 4 days heavy trekking if he didn't. But yeah, I think that aspect, you know, the mental side of it and the physical side, we both love that kind of punishment. But on top of that, it's the tradition and the respect and the community, all that kind of stuff, and we'll learn a little bit more about that, I think, as time goes on, and as our trips go on. I think we're not done with Hungary just yet.
No, geez, definitely not. No, 100%. No, definitely not. No, but
So you pull the trigger. You're shaking like a leaf.
And I was very, very happy the way the animal went down. It was genuinely. It was like, it was straight over. I think Yanis was even kind of not shocked, but, you know, he was like, he probably wasn't expecting him. So it was literally, but that was it, man. Absolutely healed him over. That was it. Just a couple of kicks from a few nerves. What I like about them as well is I love the mentality of them over there. He's like, no, let's just give him a minute now. You know, we knew he was down, but there's no point walking in on top of him when he was, even though it was dying. Just let it expire, let it naturally happen, and there's no panic. And so we stood there Yanis had a cigarette, stood there for maybe 10 minutes and waited till the animal was completely gone. Then we walked in, and then it's the whole thing of, which is a European tradition, which is lovely, where they give, you know, they break the leaf and they give the animal its last meal. They have another piece of a leaf and they put it on where the bullet went in, and then the third piece goes in your hat, and then followed by the ceremony that they do, which I think is brilliant. And it's just the respect to have for the animal, man. Honestly, it was something I'll never ever forget. You know, like, you see lads here, and I've seen, and I hate these bloody videos on Facebooks of lads running over and the deer still, and, you know, in with the knife. And this is how I just a complete lack of respect for the animal. It drives me mad. I've said it before. Like, this crack of running in and slicing here and pulling this, and, like, you know, what's the panic? Do you know, why are you rushing this? Like, you know, this is, you have to enjoy the moment as well as everything, and show a bit of bloody appreciation for the fucking animal. You know, it drives me mad. I hate it. There's a couple of lads that do it the whole time, and it just really fucking annoys me. But to that, it was very, very much, you know, about the animal, and you know that kind of inform you that, what your contribution to by taking an animal here, and it'll help the whole community and all this crack. So, yeah, it was absolutely brilliant, man. So we started in then, and we frolicked up. We had a bit of chat about the whole process and talked about some of the food that they eat and the meat and what happens to it then, and had a bit of a look over it. And
just on the grolic, Bernie, did you split it down the way Yanis splits it, or did you just do it your normal way?
No, split it the whole way, man. Yeah, split it
the whole way. Yeah,
It worked well. Now, worked really well.
Yeah, I think we said that, didn't we? Yeah, like it's something that probably I'll take home from there.
Yeah, no, it worked fantastic. Yeah, split it the whole way down. Just took it all out and then turned it over and let the blood and stuff out of it. And then Baloo was able to come in then with the Jeep, and we picked him up and brought it, headed back to base then. So that was before that all happened. Obviously, I had taken the picture, and I can't remember who. I think Rob wasn't too far away from me because he heard the shot, wasn't it? Or was it?
Yeah, because Rob mustn't have been too far. I didn't hear the shot, so I was a good whistle away from you, because when I got back to Rob said, "Was that you?" And I said, "No," and he thought Yanis's father-in-law has his Gandalf staff was hanging out the back of the truck, and you could see two antlers, because obviously, and he thought that I had shot a deer. That's how so he obviously heard it. I didn't hear the shot, so he must have been closer.
Yeah,
I was.
Yeah. So then I just took a picture or Yanis took a picture of me beside the animal and put it up on our group and just said, I says a slight bit of a change plan. I could just picture you going, "What the fuck is this like that? What happened before?" So
yeah, well, look, I remember I said to Rob, because the picture came through when we were back in the Jeep, and I said, "I hope it's the animal that he wished for." Do you know? In all the, do you know what I'm saying? I hope it was big enough and small enough that because at that time I didn't know the prices either. So I was saying, so I was hoping it was the perfect animal and it turned out to be the perfect animal.
Absolutely.
Couldn't have went any better.
No.
And I was relieved, happy, delighted. It was one of them things where, and I think other fellow hunters will attest. There's when somebody's after putting in the yards and the torture and there's no better feeling than seeing somebody produce after putting in the effort. It doesn't. This gig doesn't always come easy, and
no,
I think to see you achieve one of your dreams and one of your wishes, even for not just for this season, but for seasons ahead, and to culminate in the way it did. I was delighted for you. Couldn't have been happier. Prouder. Brilliant stuff.
No, it was great, man. It was great. It was absolutely brilliant. So then, once that was taken, then they bring it off and they measure it, and they'll do like the euro amount, but they have to measure it, weigh it, and then I think that's when they tell you how much it would cost, and then I think they hold on to it for a while. It goes to like some in the local community. Then they have at the end of the year they have a big display of all the stags that were shot in that area over the year, and people from all over the world can come and have a look and see the types of stags that area produces, and then that'll determine whether they want to book their hunt in that place or it's probably not something that we'd be exposed to in Ireland. But to be honest, I didn't even know it was something that existed, but it goes to show you in parts of Europe and around the world how serious some of these people take this, that they'll actually go and visit a place and see the kind of animals that's been produced, then make up their mind and go, well, Labod is I'm going to book a hunt there. So
and then they I tell you, they did the Euro amount fairly quick. That was produced to you the following morning, then, wasn't it?
Morning, man. She was boiled down and bleached, and the whole job, lad.
Yeah, job done. Yeah,
great. It's absolutely
no messing.
Yeah, and I think it's cool as well. They put it on display then for all the local, for the town, for all the all the locals can go and have a look at all the stags and stuff that were produced in that area. And so I think it's a great idea. It's a brilliant. I think it's a deadly idea.
Absolutely, it's a communal thing. Brilliant.
Yeah. So that was mine, lad. So we headed back to base then, and a little bit of lunch, and I think I started on the wine because you were obviously coming under. There's no point saying different. You were feeling the pressure at this stage. You were. I think that's
Yeah.
fair to say. And myself and Ross had kind of said, maybe Giannis, if you and Giannis went out, you know what I mean, together the last night, and just, give it, full, he didn't have to be worried about anybody else, just give it both barrels. So I made the executive decision to go on the wine, and I started that.
Good man.
Into it. So that was mine. So over to you now.
Yeah, look, I think that story, the Saturday morning started off back out with Giannis's father-in-law, and again, have to say, really enjoyed hunting with him. Apart from, I know he probably felt like that, because he was shaking his head at times. We could see all the fresh marks from all that, and it was, when I said it was loads of it, and we actually tracked some. Because he showed me big print and what way it was going, and you could see by the imprint in the back hoof that size of the animal. And we tracked this for, maybe a kilometre or more, and then just dipped into a wood, and he was just shaking his head and throwing the hands up to the air. And we tracked on through, and we actually cut back in because the wind it was swirling, and it was changing so regularly, and he was giving out about the wind, and so he was there, and he was blowing his breath up in the air. Next thing you know, this way, and we went cut through this heavy wood, kind of diagonally across it, and like that, seen a group of fallow to our right hand side, and we didn't push in on them, because I had still my sights at this stage set on the boar, and went back across and traced back our steps way back, and like that, it just came up stumps. Not even a sign. I'd say we were probably at any time 25 to 30 minutes behind. That's how fresh this stuff was. You could see some of the shit basically, still warm, so we were that close. And obviously, with the wind changing and stuff like that, there was times where they were probably winning us. There was times where they were just literally just ahead of us, and that's hunting, and I have no issue with that. And I got to see some of the nicest countryside you could see. I got to share it with one of the wisest, coolest hunters, I'd say, that I'll have the pleasure of hunting with. So for that, I was honoured, and we did. I think we did 6-7K that morning, so we gave it everything. It wasn't to be. Made our way back to truck, hopped in, picked up Rob. He had pulled a blank that morning as well, and he had heard your shot, and then we awaited the news, and on the way back in the Jeep. Just before we got the picture and stuff, I think I remember I turned to him and I said, I hope it's the animal he got. That's what I said. And sure enough, delighted for you when I seen it. I seen the smiley head, and I knew it was the one you wanted. It was the one you got. So yeah, delighted. And then we made our way back. And obviously at this stage then had a bit of breakfast. I was getting tired at this stage. I think we had probably at that stage probably 4 or 5 hours sleep. I don't think I'm underestimating at that stage. That's what we had. So extremely tired, cold, kind of damp. It was a dampy kind of morning. It was a little bit of kind of foggy, overspill from the previous night. And then like that, when you're tired and we hadn't been eating really well either. You know what I'm saying? We're eating kind of pizzas and chicken nuggets and shit, so I think that was playing a bit into it as well. And then obviously I traveled halfway across to fucking Europe to hunt, so I'd be lying to say that I wasn't feeling a little bit of pressure, but I kind of kicked myself in. There's a few times throughout that trip where I remember thinking to myself, where I had to have a word with myself, geez, cold here, man, it's fucking wet. What am I doing this for? You're on your own. You're you haven't been talking to anyone for 5, 6, 7 hours, and you're in pitch dark, and you're saying, fuck me, man. What did I sign up for here? Am I able for this? And all that kind of stuff. And that was one of them moments. I think I started to talk to Yanis then. I was like, what's the, we chatted about deer and stuff like that. And I kind of said, look, if I get a chance to see a stag, I might take the opportunity, And he said, look, we'll go to a place where there's a good field of view, kind of left and right, and straight ahead of you. It was like on the corner of a field. And he was explaining to me, and he said, this is going to give us our best opportunity of seeing something, Mm-hmm. So, and he said, I'll go with you, and this is a testament to the man, like this was the last night of his holiday, and here he was sharing a hunt with me, which I was kind of a little bit guilty about, and I said to him, man, you don't need to do this. I can go out, and I had set myself in my head that I was going to stay out as long as it took to get something, and of course, true to form, the weather had started to change about 2:30, 3 o'clock. So we got something to eat. I think we had a bit of a rest, mm-hmm. Maybe an hour. We did have an hour. You brought Ross off for a drive, and I think myself and the other fella lay down, not together, but we lay down, got a bit of rest, and got ready for back out again. And I think 2:30, 3 o'clock, it was go time again. Yanis, Baloo, and Rob, who had, and I know he did this. He won't say it, but he was coming out, and I knew he wouldn't pull the trigger until he heard me pulling the trigger first. That's just a testament to him. He didn't say that to me, but I fucking knew he'd have opportunities to pull the trigger. And he told me afterwards he did, but which I was kind of a little bit taking him for, because I think he should. But anyway, he perched up on one high seat, Baloo on another, and me and Yanis on the other one. So we trekked into this field, and like that, we weren't there 10, 15 minutes, and roe deer were literally playing around our feet. Like there was just, I got some on camera, because it was daylight, and I remember walking by. There was two little kind of divots in the ground. It was two kind of. I said to Yanis, "Is there a duck here?" And he said, "No, that wasn't a lake. It's just a with the rain and stuff. It's just a bit of water holding up in the field." And just as light was starting to fade, I heard fucking quack and turned around, and there was, I think it was 50 duck in one little pond, and the other one started to fill up as well, which was savage,
Yeah.
So yeah, like that, we set up and waited, and just kind of as light was starting to fade, one or two deer started to come out. And like that, they weren't small. Like these were probably animals that were as big as you'll shoot over here, but none of them presented to give me a shot. And again, this was kind of like, I was watching the hourglass, similar to your story, fucking hell, this is just not going to go my way. It's not going to go my way. Mm-hmm. This is all the thoughts I was thinking to myself. And then I remember at one stage I cut the milk bottle in half. I gave Yanis a cup of coffee. We drank it out in nice hunter style, 2 halves of a Coke bottle. Mm-hmm. And it was beautiful. Him smoking a cigarette. I've never been so delighted to be beside a heat source in my life. Yeah. And it had started dropping out to, I think, -9, -10 in around that. And then it started to pelt snow. And when I say it pelted, we'd actually got down out of high seat. We'd seen singular boar 2 on the edge of the wood, and we said we'd try and stalk in. The wind was in our favour, north wind, straight into our face. Couldn't have been any better for us. And halfway up the field, literally halfway up the field, it's the heavens opened and it's fucking snowed, man. And I remember looking at Giannis, and I'm looking at him, and he's like, that film, I think there was a, Iceman or Assassin, one of them. That, that one. And he was just laughing at me. He said, "Man, you're fucking white." I looked at my gun. My gun was just covered in snow. And yeah, by the time starting to crunch on the snow then, so they kind of just dipped back into the wood. So we went back up to the high seat, and then that was light gone. So that was game over for Stags. Even though I could see them up on the right-hand side, there was a group of about 10, 15 stags, man, on the terminal, like just one bigger than the other.
Yes.
And I said, this is the way it's going to be now. No more boards going to come out. That's me done. Giannis was talking to his wife on the phone at one stage and saying, he's going to be a little bit late. So I said, oh, geez, man, here I am now keeping this man from, his last night in Hungary. But he couldn't have been any more calmer. I think he's a fantastic guy to hunt with anyway. He's so calm. He's so composed. He's been there, done that. He's seen it all before. So he said, they'll come back. They'll come back out, He really reassuring. Next thing we hear, boom, 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 out in the distance. And I was full sure that was Rob. It was Baloo over in the other high seas. He had managed to clip a couple of boar. So he got off to a nice start. And I like that. I think we're into the last hour now, about 8:30ish. And next thing, Giannis said to me, boom, elbow, hands me the thermal down the right hand corner. A big boar. And so he said, what do you want to do? Do you want to wait, or do you want to try and stalk in? And at that moment, it all depends on the next decision. So I said, look, I think we should try and stalk in. I said, he's on the edge of the wood, doesn't seem to be coming out much more. Give him like 10 minutes. So we're going to have to try and stalk in. And what do you think? And he said, yeah, I agree. So stalked in. And then it came to go time. So we knew we weren't going to get much further. I think it was about, Giannis said 170, 200 yards in around that. But you can never be, we're in darkness now. So, and again, he said, do you want to put on the torch? And I said, no, I don't put on the fucking torch. It's going to run, because they're sketchy.
Yeah.
One had already come out on the other side, about 350 yards, and when I put the torch on him, bang. So he was gone. So I wasn't taking a chance on this one. So yeah, I've literally put the gun up. Giannis could see him through the binos. The snow had actually started to help us. There was a little bit of moonlight, and the little bit of reflection off that, throws up a little bit of natural light. And so got him in the scope, and I could see this black circle just in the scope. And put down, had a look through a thermal, checked there was nothing behind him, because you're in foreign ground, foreign waters. You're not sure the lay of the land, big wood behind him. So I was happy enough, and put back up the gun, and like that, I waited for movement. I wanted to make sure, as best I could. I was going to put the shot where I, in the engine room, was where I wanted it, because at night time and so on. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I could see the head kind of bobbing, and I waited a little second, and like that, just I think we talked about it afterwards. I brought the scope just over the body, so I could see the kind of the daylight, and I just dropped it down, and bang, pulled the trigger as the crosshairs met the lungs area, and like that, heard the slap, knew instantly it was hit. Giannis had him on the thermal, and he said, "Fucking good shot," Giannis. He was, and this is, I think, this is the biggest credit I could give to the man. He was as excited for me as I was. Do you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I think absolutely. Do you know what I mean? I think that's the biggest compliment I can pay the man, because he just he gets joy from seeing others succeed, I think. But yeah, he said, "Oh, he's fucking hit, man. He is hit. He's just," and he wasn't running, but he was trying to scat back into the forest. I like that. Out with the cigarette. Now we take our time, and we stood there. I was shivering from the cold, man, because the snow had kind of melted into me now at this stage, into the jacket. I was wet, cold, tired, but I was I was fucking shaking, and so I was there. Then you start to doubt, fuck, did I miss? You know what I mean? All that kind of stuff. Is he going to run too far? And then I could hear the phone going off my pocket, and I knew it was Rob. Is that you? Is that you? And I couldn't even write the message, man. My hands were shaking. So next thing, I need 10, 15, 20 minutes went by. We walk up and torch on, and where we pull a shot, and I was there. Oh, there's no blood, man. There's no fucking blood. I was, And Yana said, "Anto, come over here," like that. Picked up a speck of blood in the snow, and then another speck, and it was he was bleeding heavy. So I knew I'd hit him, and hit him hard.
Mm-hmm.
We tracked that right to the edge of the wood. We stepped into the wood about 1 yard, 2 yards, and Jan's just put hand and shoulder. No, we go no further here. Hung a little tissue on the tree. We'll get him in the morning. And I was there, but I was, I wasn't obviously going to argue with him, but I was.
You want
like 90% of me wanted to go into that wood, man. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he said, "No, we got," because he told me a story of a friend of his who went in after a wood and had to be fucking airlifted out. So, these are not to be messed with, as we know. So, just calmed back down and rang the lads, picked up Baloo and Rob was he had given me his thermal actually for the night.
Yeah.
Because mine wasn't fully charged, and he had run out of thermal, I think, fucking 2 hours earlier. So he was sitting there literally in the dark, and he wouldn't put on the torch because he thought it'd fuck up my night. So, many thanks to him as well. Just a huge fucking testament to him as well. But he was delighted for me. Baloo was fucking thrilled, man. And then we had to go and get Baloo's 3 hogs. So we did that. Rob and him dragged them in and threw them in the Jeep, and we're back to base. And I think me, you, and Rob did the dogging it that night. I think we set up fucking all hours drinking.
Yeah.
So and I think that's one of the memories I think that I'll take from it. I probably wasn't as appreciative as I was in the moment, because I was the adrenaline had started to kind of wear off, and I was tired. But you guys were over the moon for me, as I appreciate it, and it was I think it was 2:30. No, it wasn't 2:30. It was 3:30, I think. And we getting into bed, and we had to be back up again at 7 to go on fucking, or 6:30.
Yeah.
Sorry, 5:45 to go back out for 7 to go and find him. So went back, got up the next morning, got a cup of tea into us, and out the door. Poor Robert was in rag order, wasn't he?
He was.
He was shook now. He was shook. But he got up. He got up with me, and back out into the Jeep, and like that, we tracked the blood back from the field back in, and in the daylight, then we could see there was. I seen a small piece of lung, and I was like, "Yeah, I know he hasn't gone too far, but you're still fucking until you know." You're still going to be nervous. Yeah. But and Rob said it as well, watching Baloo track and Yanis, I mean, they're fucking, it's like, I was there trying to look up, and you could see afterwards, I took a little video afterwards, but I could just see then through the wood, the 2 boys had stopped, and everyone just looked back at me, and I knew when I say relief, joy, all of that sort of stuff, and I walked up, I felt like crying, man. I absolutely felt like crying. I'm not exaggerating, because until that moment I didn't know what I was going to retrieve that animal. So even though everyone else was kind of absolutely you're going to, until you're standing over it.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that. Then Yanis did the kind of a little bit of a ritual with the branch, and which I think is just fantastic. It's something I'll chat to Yanis about, but I think we should adopt it over here a little bit. I think it's a lovely little tradition.
Yeah.
And it's something I'd love to pass on to my kids if I could. And just growled out the animal like that. Didn't have a huge drag because it was actually turned out there was a little bit of a cut in the wood that the Jeep could get down. So Rob and Baloo actually dragged it the 50 or 60 yards, and then we dragged it up onto the truck and back home. So yeah, that was hunt over, hunt over. And it couldn't have been more fucking dramatic. But sure, look, that's the way my fucking shit goes anyway. It doesn't seem to be fucking easy, but
no, exactly. That's what
delighted, man. Absolutely delighted.
If you had a rocked up in the first morning and shot your board, it would have been a boring fucking story to talk about, wouldn't it?
It would have been, man. It would have been. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I thought about it this way, if I had to write it, that's the way I would have liked it to go.
Yeah.
But when you're in it, it's horrendous. Do you know what I'm saying?
It is.
Because it's torture.
We've spoken about before, especially with the podcast, just puts a whole other pile of pressure on you. Because you're like, you're saying to Rob and Ross, like, I'm not being bad, but if you come over here and shoot that, no one's going over. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, we have to go back and actively talk to,
talk about somebody else shooting something. And we travel halfway across the world to go shooting. And up until the last day, the two boys in the podcast have shot fucking nothing.
Oh, stop. Fucking hell.
So,
experience.
I was delighted when you shot yours because at least fucking one of us shot something, I had even.
I'll be honest with you, like when you'd shot and then I didn't sleep a whole pile. All I kept when I woke up the last morning, I just kept looking at the phone, going, please, tell me they found this fucking boar, because it'd be nearly worse shooting one and not find it. Do you know what I mean? So
look at that's the other side of it,
Yeah, absolutely fucking delighted. I was delighted. So yeah, no, it was. All's well that ends well, as the fella says.
Yeah, that brought an end to the festivities. So we rocked up and we I think everyone comes in. You settle up for the few bob for everyone. He took a quick measurement of the tusk and I can't wait to get them back. No more than your head. Can't wait to see that mounted and get it back home.
Yeah,
which reminds me, I have the hair from him wrapped up in a suitcase. So I must take that fucking out.
Oh yeah,
that goes.
Yeah, be a nice stench off that, I'd say.
There will be.
Yeah, so no, that was it. We settled up and packed up and got on the road. Fucked off home, man, the whole way. And Jesus, that was the longest part of the trip. Because we'd be out of the house because there was another hunting party from Austria, I think, coming in. So we kind of had to get out of the house. No, we didn't have to. But we were on the road early. We were down at the airport for 2:00, I should say, thereabouts. We weren't flying out till 8:00 that night, so it was a long time to be hanging around. But anyway, it was great how we crack and a fantastic trip. And we're going back in April. I know we haven't confirmed it, but I am 100% going back in April. So yeah, it's.
I haven't broken that news just as yet. So if everyone's listening to this, I've no choice now. If the other fella's going, I have to go.
We're going in April. We're going back after some raw and some more boar in April, without a doubt, man. Cannot fucking wait. Cannot wait. But that's anybody else that wants, like the listeners out there, if there's anything else you want to know about that trip, any questions you have, get in contact. And if it's something something that you think you'd like to do, we'll help you out in any way, shape, or form that we can. But I would definitely urge people, if you're into hunting and like us, it's not honestly like money wise, you're not talking to lads here that are millionaires. We all have wives and jobs and mortgages and the whole lot. So we wouldn't be doing it if this cost outrageous money. It's very, very within, I think,
Yeah, you can make it so, and like that, even on the higher end of it, right? Because I'm not saying like we don't, me and you, I think, and I think in general, hunters tend not to be. This is our kind of we don't go out at the weekend and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and as look at that's what people do. No issue, man. That's your gig. Yeah. We don't. So we don't fucking drink a whole pile. We have a couple of cans or maybe a bottle of wine at home or whatever. So we don't drink a whole pile. We don't have other really mad interests apart from this. So and we talked about, I think, just about putting a few bob by every week, and then, you know what I mean, if you put a couple of euros, 20, 30 quid a week by, that'd be your trip nearly accounted for by the time it come up. So, you know what I mean? It's that accessible, and if you're working hard, and you're putting in the shift, I think, you should be entitled to go out every now and again and spend a few bob like that on yourself, and because it's benefits twofold. You come back, you have memories, you have stuff to talk about, you have memories for a lifetime. You make friends. It's a community thing. It's our sport,
absolutely.
And like that, I think it's definitely one of the best experiences that I've ever had. Yeah, I think you're the same. I think it's year after year, and I think as the podcast goes on, we've had I think we both said it, come back in the airport with the podcast. Thank for this. We probably wouldn't have hunted together over there because the podcast wouldn't have been. That's one thing, and then the trip mightn't have come around. Well, you know what I mean, because it kind of forced us to, obviously to go there, and Giannis then obviously with the podcast as well, and become friends with him, and it's just everything's happens for a reason. So and thankfully it did.
Absolutely, 100%. Yes, this as much as we give out sometimes about having to doing the podcast time it takes, but if you look back on all the trips and all the stuff and the people we've met throughout this year and stuff, it wouldn't have happened without the podcast. So. Definitely, it's a driving force. It's an absolute driving force. Without a shadow of a doubt, you'll have to stay tuned, and we'll be back out in April with the help of God.
Absolutely, man. Here we come again. Round two.
Exactly right. Come here, we'll go and do a bit of gear talk, will we?
Let's do it.
This segment of the Irish Hunting Podcast is sponsored by Highland Outdoors. Dive into the heart of the wild with Highland Outdoors, your one-stop destination for premium hunting, guns, and outdoor sports equipment. Join us on a journey where the untamed outdoors meets top-quality gear as we explore the essence of the wild with Highland Outdoors, where every adventure begins and every shot counts. Highland Outdoors, where passion meets precision.
And now it's time for a little thing we like to call Let's Talk Gear.
Grogan, it's over to you this week, man. What have we got on our Let's Talk Gear?
Just nice and simple. Head torches. I think we did a little bit of chatting about these before, but mine it's nearly a year old now at this stage, I think. It's the Sniper Hog head torch. This is the 50 AKP. As far as I know, this is the furthest shining head torch on the market. That's what it's marketed as. So there's a fair old bang off this thing. I think you've been out in the field with me, I think, a few times as well. I think it's over 1,000 yards in white, 1,200 in green, and 700 in red. So she goes a fair tilt. Yeah. It's fully adjustable headpiece. It's focusable, so you can go right into a kind of a fine beam or a wide beam, and there's a dimmer switch on the top of it. It's a one button on, one button off. You just tap for on and off on the same toggle switch as the dimmer. Mm-hmm. The battery pack is at the back of your head. It's rechargeable batteries. They're not 18650 batteries. I actually have the Sniper Hog Light, and I'd recommend even in the IR to go for the non-spurious kind of batteries. These ones last a fucking age. These are the 21700, but they give you little adapters for the 18650, so you can use your 18650 in the battery pack, which is nice and handy. So for anyone that doesn't know, the 18650 is go with all the IRs and They go for most of our gear, don't they? We have them in every pocket, I think.
Yes.
It's a fully adjustable headpiece. There's a little flexible wire loom then from the battery pack to the headset. They're all interchangeable pills, so you can get like all different colors, and you can get different strengths in torches as well. So, man, look at as head torches go, it's probably the Audi or Mercedes of head torches if you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I got it predominantly because I obviously run the sniper hog light on my IR or my if I'm lamping.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it's nice to have the interchangeable bits and bobs. Mm-hmm. But yeah, look, other than that, man, it is, I know head torch is head torch, but if you could actually lamp at this thing, so it's a serious piece of kit. So that's my run this week.
Where are they available?
You can get these in Wild Hunter.
Okay.
I know they're available in Wild Hunter. You can go on the Sniper Hoglight website there. I think they'll give you a list of different suppliers, but I definitely know because I bought my IR in Wild Hunter. But yeah, so they're readily available. They're a pretty well known brand over here. Huge over in America. It's a small. When I say small, it's a nice little family run business there. So and they're fairly well known across the water. So it's made from like I think aircraft grade aluminium. It's all that kind of very robust. Mm-hmm. There's hard case and like that. It's I think they're pretty rock solid because all the bits are kind of interchangeable. So there's very, very little that can go wrong. You screw out a pill if the bulb goes, or you throw out that. I haven't had one go on me yet. The leads are all interchangeable. So yeah, they can pretty much switch you out if you do have any bother. As I said to you, she's marketed as the longest stretching head torch on the market.
Very good, man. Very, very, very good. What price are we talking here?
Yeah, for the 40 AKP, the standard one, I think they're around $150, Brenny.
Okay.
Which is it's strong for a head torch, I know. But I got the 50 AKP or KAP pill of mine, which is the extra strength. But like that for that, and I tell you where I'm thinking of this next year is when we're back over in Hungary, you could set this up rather than having, because remember we hit the fog last year. And I think this would be, I'm going to try it anyway when I'm out lamping. I have it out lamping a few times. I actually had it out with Yanis, I think. But setting it up properly. So getting your cheek piece to the gun and having this set up that it's at the right angle when you're on the gun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you're not foostering around with stuff baiting off your suppressor, giving you that white flashback and stuff like that. So
yes. Yeah. Cool, man. Deadly.
It's an option.
Yeah. I think I don't know if I spoke about it. I use a Cheetah head torch, which
good job.
Yeah, I've had that for about 4 years. Full warranty on them. There's I won't say there's a lifetime warranty on it, but there's a. My father had one for about 6 years, and after 6 years, the on-off button it wouldn't work on it, and he sent it back, and they sent him up a new one. So
yeah,
and that people that are familiar with them, you've seen them. The torch, you will 100% lamp focuses with this. The beam of it and the battery life is phenomenal, and they're only €50 is all they were.
Yeah.
But I suppose what it doesn't have is you can't put different pills in it and different lenses, and it's not interchangeable. So I suppose that's the thing where the sniper hog wins out there,
Yeah, look, I suppose I know there's probably people listening saying, Jesus Christ, it's an awful lot. And it is. It's like, I'm saying this is the one I chose because I already had the IR. And like that, I was tricking around. I have the 40 KP, the pill for it. And I think it stretches to 500 or 600 yards, So, like it's phenomenal, the light off them. But as I said to you, it is a few bob. But if you're going to kind of, it's like anything when you have when you're happy with one system and you want to try and keep it all the same rather than having different batteries and different toggle switches and different. So from that perspective, it suits my setup. And like that, the interchangeable lenses. Like I have, I have my IR.
Yeah.
And like that, we went over, as we know, to Hungary, threw out the pill, put back in the white pill.
Mm-hmm.
And I was lamping. So you're going from night vision to lamping, and you can do that very easy with these. So that's probably, as you say, is the benefit of them, but you're paying for that privilege as well,
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I get you. Marks out of 10 so for that one.
So, well, look at the prices is the kind of the downer on it. It is a little bit bulky. So the backpack, the battery pack is because they give you a nice bit of playtime on them, but it is a little bit bulky on the back on the battery pack. So I'm going to knock the mark for that. So I'm going to give it a good 8.5, Brenny. But again, for the price point is probably not going to be. It's going to stretch a lot of people for a head torch. But it depends on what you're after, As I said to you, I wouldn't argue with the statement that they've made. I think it'll stretch as far as any head torch I've ever seen. But it's whether you want that or not, I suppose. Does that make sense?
Yeah, there's one other little thing I didn't like about it. Remember we went out. Do you know the way you can take out the actual glass on the front?
Yeah.
And you can easily put it in the wrong way around.
Yeah. Which I fucking did.
Yeah, and I just think you could simplify that. You could have that in such a way that you can't make that mistake, because it is an easy mistake to make. Putting going, what the fuck is going on with it? And if it wasn't, it was kind of just by like, Jesus, it was only that we thought you had taken it apart. Do you know what I mean? And you had said,
yeah.
You said, what is going on here? So that's one little thing I'd like if they could.
Yeah. So on the kind of what would you say, the objective side of the torch, there's a little bubble, which should face out. And I said there's probably people saying, "Yes, clown, did you not know that faced out?" But no, Anthony was in a rush. I think because I didn't have the pill sitting properly, was kind of flicking on and off, and I took it apart to check what I was after doing wrong, and like that, I put it in the wrong way, and I think it wasn't going 50 yards. And we were saying, Jesus Christ Almighty!
We were blaming the fucking. Because you had it on the IR. We were blaming the pulsar. We were saying, what is fucking wrong with this?
Yeah. But there you go.
That's just another little thing. But yeah,
there you go.
8.5 out of 10. Nothing wrong with that.
No. She's as I said to you, if it's you, Bob, and you want to stretch it that far, she's the job. If not, as you said, there's plenty of good alternatives.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I think like if you're looking at the likes of, I haven't priced them in a while, but I'd say like a good lead lens or torch, which wouldn't have anywhere near the distance. Like they're a great torch, don't get me wrong, but they wouldn't have those capabilities of fucking over 1,000 yards of a beam, and you can't the lenses and all that. Like I'd say you wouldn't have probably much change out for €100 for if you were to buy one of those.
Well, that's the other side of it. Look, it's. I think we're coming to that testament with most of our gear now, and look, we're lucky that we get to test a lot of the stuff. But if you can buy once, sometimes it's probably the cheapest way. If there's only 50 quid in something, and like that, if you do let it fall and there's a lens gone, you can get a new lens without changing the torch. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
They'll easily ship that across to you. They're very, very good that way. Jason Brooks there in Sniper Hog has been, very, very amenable to us with questions and stuff like that. So, the interchangeability, I like that. Because I like that. I'm not very kind on my gear, as you probably know, and so I hate the fact, if fucking one thing breaks, you have to throw the whole lot back and get a new one, or maybe the manufacturers, you're not going to be looking for a lens off me. How, you know what I mean? Whereas the lads there, they're well used to that. So yeah, and like that, I've had it down. The field down the bottom of my lane. I think it's 600 yards from when on the road, right from on the second field to the hedge. 650 yards, I think, and she'll light up that corner of that field absolutely no problem. So I haven't stepped it out to 1,000 yards, but I'd believe it on the slinky beam. She'd throw it that far, all right,
Very good. Yeah. Handy bit of kit, man. One maybe to put on the old Christmas list there for a few listeners there.
Absolutely. There you go. It's a nice little stocking filler for somebody.
Absolutely, man. Without a shadow of a doubt. Now, from Sniper Hug head torches to the Bowl Jackaroo sent us up something there during the week. You're going to fill us in now, are you?
Yeah. So we thought Jack wasn't talking to us there for a while, so we were kind of.
I think the fame has gotten to his head a little bit, you know.
A little bit.
You come back.
It'll never. So, look at man, you can't make a Corkman's head any bigger than all it was.
That is for sure, right? Whatever the issue is, it won't be their fault anyway, or his fault.
No. Now, but what I have to say is this: he sent us up a couple, and we're going to start. We're going to start with the pheasant, I think, because we're in the middle of pheasant season. We've talked a lot about deer recipes and deer food, venison, but this is Italian braised pheasant. Now, you're going to have to bear with me with the licking of the lips here. And he sent us. I love the presentation of this little menu, and I'd love this to go forward. That if we could do something like this, and that we can pop them up and we can correlate them all.
Mm-hmm.
But the ingredients: it's a pheasant, 500 ml of cheap red wine, garlic bulb, bit of rosemary, sunflower flour, bacon, lardons, carrots. There's a few nice spices: onion and garlic, cloves diced, fennel seeds, cinnamon stick, another bit of rosemary. I like rosemary now, I have to say. Do you like rosemary?
Yeah, I like a little bit of it. It wouldn't be. I don't hate when it takes over the flavor of whatever you're using it.
I like a bit. I like a bit now myself.
A
bit of passata and then a chicken stock pot dissolved in 500 ml of water. And then this is what I like about this is there's not a whole pile of work in this one.
Sorry, passata, is that like the tomato paste?
That's you get the little they're in like little cartons, like milk cartons of tomato sauce. Yeah, you know that one.
Yep.
Cheap as chips, and throw the pheasant on a chopping board, cut into what a chef would call for chasseur. So cut off the legs, remove the backbone, and cut the crown into 4 chunks, all on the bone. Place the meat in a Ziploc bag with red wine, the garlic bulb, and the rosemary. Squeeze out the air and place in the fridge overnight. And that I like that kind of with the pheasant, because the pheasant, you think this as well, Bernie. I think the pheasant tends to be dry in the I find anyway, in the oven. Yeah,
definitely it does. Yeah.
So the more moisture you can get into this baby, the better for me anyway.
Yeah.
Place a braising pot on high heat. Remove the pheasant from the Ziploc bag and discard all the marinade. Dry the meat with kitchen paper. Toss the meat in flour and carefully place into the pan and fry until browned all round. Reduce the heat to medium. The lardons, the celery, the carrot, the onion, all that goes back in, and you saute for 5 to 7 minutes. Return the meat, followed by the wine, another glass of wine. Bring to simmer and add the passata. Simmer and add the stock. And place in the oven for 45 minutes to an hour. It's ready when the sauce is nice and thick. Serve with creamy mash or cheesy polenta. Now that sounds nice, man.
That sounds class.
Yeah, doesn't it?
It does, man. There's nothing about that. It's not a whole lot of work in it either, in fairness.
No. Like I know there's I skipped through quite quickly there, but it generally there's very, very little to that. I think even us pair could manage that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's something that I think it would be something different with the pheasant, and it's like a one pot, throw it in the middle of the table with your bit of pasta or your bit of polenta, and away you go.
Oh man, that'd be unbelievable! Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah, unbelievable. So we'll stick that up after the show there, and hopefully people can start sending in a few pictures of some of the meals they've been trying out. So we're getting good feedback from a lot of the recipes there, thankfully.
Yeah, definitely, man. I have to try and get a chance to do some of them myself. That's the only hard part of that now is getting the pheasant.
I have a couple up in the pen there now. If you're stuck,
I might have to resort to that. Yeah, no, geez, that sounds tasty, man. That sounds.
Yeah, it does. After a cold winter's evening now, that's a real kind of hearty meal, isn't it? A bit of creamy mash and a nice roasted pheasant there, bit of tomato sauce, lovely.
Just last time I done that with a pheasant, man, I just fried up the 2 breasts and a few onions and mushrooms, and and some, what did I put on it? Some brown soda bread. No, that's
Yeah.
that was tasty too, but a different kind of taste. But geez, no, that's nice. Jack O'Keefe just keeps hitting them out of the park, man. I like
Yeah, man. Every time we think he's run out of ideas, he comes in with a fucking a smasher
Yeah,
and
yeah,
put a nice bit into that one. So thank you very much, Jack.
absolutely, Jack. Oh, fair play to you, man. Like, hopefully we'll get me up with him now over the Christmas for an old pint or two. If he mightn't have time for people like us anymore. I don't know. Look at it, see, let's see, let's see
Yeah,
how we're either
yeah,
in path. That is.
yeah, look at sure, look at. Um, what was I going to say to you? The IHP challenge, Bernie, is filling up fairly quick, man.
Filling up, man. I still haven't picked our name yet. There's a lot more people coming on board with it now, which is class. We're way above what we even had last year. A lot more coming. I know. Well, there's an awful lot more people going to come on board now over the next couple of days, and next week we'll get all the names. The prizes are coming in thick and fast too. Like, can I just say something for a minute? What a prize from Donegal hunting trips! Like, that is unbelievable, man. I was even telling my mother about it earlier on. She says, Jesus, she says, I wouldn't be able to, she says, but I'd love to do that myself. That is
Yeah.
absolutely class and an absolute massive, massive, massive thanks to the folks up there. That is a phenomenal prize.
Yeah, fair play to Lance. He's been a huge supporter of the show since we started.
Yeah.
And in fairness, he brought Jack O'Toole down and for as part of his prize, and Jack didn't get on a deer. Well, got on deer, but wasn't comfortable, as Jack said, pulling the trigger, which is fair, which is we've all been there.
Yeah.
In fairness, Lance offered him another day.
My God.
So what he said this year was that to be guaranteed, you know, and get them used to the whoever wins the prize, the lay of the land on the first day, and he'd do the second day, and throw in a bit of accommodation. Like it's savage, but like that is
My God.
boxed up as
Yeah.
the hunt of a lifetime, you know.
You're getting 2 days hunting with one of the best in the business on some of the best ground with some of the best stags in the business, and you're getting 2 nights accommodation in Donegal. And like, let's face it, Donegal's class.
Oh man, I can't wait to get up there. I know we've been invited up there a few times. We will be getting in there.
Yeah.
But Jesus, yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait.
Yeah, phenomenal place.
Just looking at some of the team names there. We've the Treaty County Coddies back in.
Oh,
Good. You've the Dermot McEnroe, Your Only Men. We've what else is there? There's some Beauty and the Beast. There's some of the nice ones. The Squint and Flinch, they're back. I think they were last year as well.
Yeah, yes, they were very good. Yeah, yeah.
And we have the Timber Doodles. Timber Doodles, I don't fucking hell. And the Does Before Holes. What do you think of
that? Does Before Holes. That's fucking brilliant.
Class. So yeah, look, and we've more prizes. We've obviously John Daly with the fantastic pen. I'm picking that up this evening. Dermot McEnroe is doing something for us. We have obviously Lance's. A big shout out again to Philip there in Small Arms Service. Philip's going to rock us up something, a couple of cool wallets and a few bits and pieces. He's going to be sending on there. So, and then obviously Fran O'Toole with the rifle sling, and we've others coming in by the minute. So
we have Wild Hunter are on board as well. They gave us some great stuff last year. They're going to give us a few bits and pieces. We have John Jones Road Pursuits going to sort us out with a few nice little prizes. We have Central Gold Ammo and so on and so forth, and we still have to talk to a load more people yet. So there is going to be a prize bundle and a half.
Well, already there, Brenny. Like I'm just saying, just counting there, like that prize bundle there. We're probably a prize pot already of about $3,000.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
In terms of value there. So, like that is, it's you know what I mean. It's just a huge thanks to. I suppose it's a big sign of the way the podcast has gone in the space of 12 months. Every time we've gone out to the hunting community, they come back and in their droves, and they support us really, really well. So, savage stuff.
Absolutely class, man. Absolutely brilliant, phenomenal stuff. But what is the plan? You're that's that end, but you're heading off in the morning, are you?
I'm heading off. Yeah, getting. I still have to pack and all that kind of stuff. So I've a little bit of work ahead of me now for the evening. But yeah, heading off in the morning, heading over to Austria for a couple of days, to try and learn how to ski. So yeah. Did you ever see the film Eddie the Eagle? No.
Yes, I did.
Well, we're having the crack here with the young lad. I was calling him. You'll be like Eddie the Eagle, and they're all kind of coming up with, Leezy the Lemon or whatever, and all this kind of names. So we're all having names when we go over, and I just said, yeah, well, you know what mine it'll be Anto the Avalanche. So if you look out, people, if there's a fucking news flash of a big snowball coming down the side of an Austria mountain, it's me.
It'll have some crack, man. So have you ever been skiing before?
Never, no.
You love it, man. You love it. It's
yeah, I didn't like ice skating. I think I tried it once and nearly broke me leg. So it should be interesting.
I give you one piece of advice: bring sun cream.
Yeah, somebody said that to me as well. Yeah, because the snow, the reflection of the snow is
burn the fucking face off you. We done it in Geneva a good few years ago. So yeah, definitely, man. Bring some sun cream and wrap up well, and have some good travel insurance, because I think it's one of those ones that just be careful. It's easy enough to break a bone now when you're at it. So just
look at it.
Just mind what you're at. You know what I mean? It's like people think it's just snow, but yeah, just ease yourself into it.
You're like an Irishman. You get down after that, you'll break your neck. Huh?
Jesus, yeah.
If you don't get out, I'll break it for you.
Yeah, exactly. If you fall down after that and break your two legs, don't fucking come running.
Run to me. Yeah. I'll be taking it nice and easy. Be nice and nice. I'll be doing the famous last words now. So this is on fucking record. So I'll have to stick to it. I'll be on the baby slopes, I think. Yeah. But our family's pretty competitive now, so I can see what's going to happen. All the young lads now, this is their revenge for all the years I've been torturing them with messing and winning races and having all sorts of mad competitions. So yeah, they'll be probably putting it up to daddy this weekend, I'd say.
Yeah. Brilliant. I know you'll have a great time.
We'll have a ball.
Have a good trip and stuff.
What's your plans? You're going out hunting, I would imagine.
I am going out tonight. Big Mac is calling over tonight, I think, and we're going to head out after a fox tonight.
Good stuff.
We've recorded this over a couple of nights. Disclaimer: I went out actually last night for about an hour. With me 1.7 and me ATN, and I fired the 3 foxes and missed the fucking 3 of them. So my fucking ATN is off 0 again. So yeah, I gotta have to 0 that again. That was really, really, really fucking frustrating. So I'm actually just going to bring the 6.5 tonight and the lamp and old school it.
Yeah, and you're back practicing for the boar, man. I was saying that to Rob earlier on in the week. I think what we should do is a couple of weeks before we go back to Hungary is just go out lamping, like traditional lamping, and get your eye in that way, and then your game on for the boar then,
Yeah, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah. No,
it's different, isn't it? You kind of get spoiled with the night vision too, don't we?
You do, definitely.
You know what I mean?
You definitely do. No, I've shot a couple lately on the dread torch and stuff. So well, not lately. Well, I have. I shot one here a while ago, I suppose. But yeah, look, going to head back up to a place where we were where I was last night, and yeah, just get out and get a couple of foxes and sure a bit of crack, and then I'm going to head for a deer on probably Saturday morning, I'd say. That's the
deadly stuff.
So we'll see how it goes.
I went up into the high seat this morning just for an hour. I got up nice and early, shot up. I was on the way to picking up something else, so I threw the gun in the Jeep and I went up. And I didn't see a thing. Just I was waiting for kind of light to break.
Yeah.
But I was back in the Jeep at 8:00. I just gave myself a nice half an hour. And to tell you the truth, what I really enjoyed was I got up into the high seat when it was dark, and the sun was just breaking above the trees. You can see it kind of started to crackle above, and the birds and all the stuff had started to come alive. And I enjoyed that bit. I wasn't really now obviously look at deer had it pushed out, I probably would, but I wasn't in any way disappointed that nothing came out.
Yeah,
it was just a bit of calm before the storm kicked off this morning.
Yes, yep, I know what you mean. Yeah, sure. Look, it is nice to get out. Sometimes it is. It's nice to get out now too. Last night, like that, was nice, but then it kind of turned wet and shitty. So, but yeah, I just long for a nice fucking hard frost, man, and get out. That's what I very, very much look.
I think it's going to be nice and dry tonight. It looks to be dry there, and it might have a little tinge of frost as well, Rennie.
Yeah.
So, fingers crossed for you.
Hopefully,
Keep us posted.
I will absolutely, man. Without a shadow of a doubt. We'll sure look at we will wrap it up there.
Wrap her up.
We will say before we finish up, please jump on our socials, give us a like and a follow. You can give us a rating on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcasts. And of course, if you want to buy myself and Anthony a coffee and a half, the link is in.
That's a thing now, man. That's a thing. Who gets the fucking half? I know. That's a rhetorical question. That's a rhetorical question.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah.
And the clothing, guys, again, this is the last couple of days for the clothing. It's absolutely horsing out the door there. So I don't know what's left in stock. Mrs. Grogan there is looking after all the stock there. So but yeah, it's horsing out there. So beanies, caps, t-shirts, hoodies, great stocking filler for anyone for Christmas. If you want to get something for that special person in your life, it's all there.
Lovely stuff, man. Happy days.
Stay safe and stay hunting. Over now, friend.
Stay hunting. Have a good week, man. And
you too, man.
Take it easy.
Yeah, look.